Reels and TikTok videos look so similar that it's easier to assume they behave the same once you hit publish. And they don't. We pulled the numbers from over 5 million videos in our Instagram and TikTok studies and looked at how Reels and TikToks compare to each other. And 4 things came out of it that change how you should be using each one. Pretty much, TikTok gets you in front of more people. Reels get more out of the people who see them, and the two platforms don't even run at the same clock. So comparing a Reel to a TikTok after the same 24 hours isn't a fair fight. So which one you lean on depends on what you want that video to do and how long you give it before you decide whether if it worked or not. So let's take those 4 one at a time. Let's start with how far each video travels.
To infinity and beyond!
Because actually reach isn't where they're furthest apart. On average, a TikTok video reaches more people than a Reel and gets more views. And the gap is wider on reach than on views. And part of that comes down to how each platform finds new viewers. Because on TikTok, the For You page is responsible for 7 out of 10 views. And that share hasn't moved in over a year. So TikTok is still, by design, handing your videos to people who have never ever heard of you. And that makes TikTok specifically useful when you need one single idea, campaign, or product to get in front as many people as possible. But reaching more people, it's only half of the story. More reach doesn't automatically mean more people will react to what you share. And that's where Reels turn it around, because they get a bigger share of them to do a natural response. The average engagement rate on a Reel is 4.30% compared to a 3.6% on TikTok. So a smaller audience responding to a higher rate. And some of that comes down to how people are actually watching Reels. Because average watch time per Reel is actually up from last year. And shares are up as well, which means someone is vouching for your content in front of their own audience. So it carries even more weight than a like. And you can see the difference in these 2 Reel accounts. On TikTok, Maria Speaks English has 1 million followers and averages 25,000 interactions per post, exactly in line with other accounts in her same category. Now, compare that account to Sakshi Dardas, who runs Binge House by Sakshi with only 31,000 followers on Instagram. Her average Reel pulls over 105,000 interactions per Reel. And that's more than 3 times her follower count. So that's what a higher engagement rate means. An account with 30 times fewer followers still pulling in more interactions per post than one with 1 million. So the size of the crowd matters less than how many of them actually stick around to do something. So far, this looks like a clean split. TikTok for scale, Reels for engagement. But there's a detail worth adding to that picture. TikTok still delivers better absolute results per video, but its average performance has gotten worse. The platform is carrying nearly 80% more content than a year ago, and over the same period, reach, views, and interactions all dropped 30%. So pretty much what I want to say with this is that there's more content competing for attention. That people are watching less once a video shows up on their page, because watch duration barely changed and the amount of people holding on to videos till the end pretty much stayed the same. So yes, the content holds up. What dropped is how often a video shows up in the first place. So TikTok problem right now is visibility. Reels, on the other hand, are moving in the other direction, up on reach, on shares, and on engagement rate. And no, that doesn't make Reels the new winner. It means TikTok still offers more scale. It's just harder to reach than before. While Reels get more out of every view it already has. And where each one is heading matters as much as today's numbers. And there's a third difference, which is how long each one takes to get there. Because a reel and a TikTok don't run on the same clock. A reel gets more of its views on the first 3 days. And after that, growth tends to slow down a lot. A TikTok keeps going for about 10 days because the algorithm is still showing it to the new people well past day 3. So give TikTok its 10 days before you decide, and compare a reel with its 3 days to a TikTok with its 10 days. So here's where all of this lands when you're planning your next video. Both platforms bring you discovery and engagement. And what changes is which outcome each one favors on average. If your priority is exposure per post and more chances to grow your account, the data points to TikTok. And if your priority is getting a higher share of viewers to react, Reels have the edge. And if you run both, you can start from the same concept as long as you expect different results and give each one its own KPI and its own window. So take these numbers as your benchmark because that's the useful part of a study this size. And then put your own accounts next to it, which in Metricool Studio takes 1 sentence. You describe the comparison you want in plain words, and it comes back in seconds with the charts and the summary already written. Then look at how many people each post reached, what share of them interacted, and which type of content worked best on each platform. If you've never opened Metricool Studio, no worries because we have a full video right here telling you how to set it up step by step. If I were you, I'd grab that comparison while you're there. See you in the next one, Metricooler.